I was pinned to the ground, held down so tightly I couldn't move. My son's cries filled the air, and my tears streamed down uncontrollably. But Xavier Smith acted as if he couldn't see me. Calmly, he placed the camera directly on the table. Then, just like before, he took our son's hand and said in a gentle voice, "Lucas, be good. Don't be scared. Daddy won't let anything happen to you." Yet as I looked at the sharp knives laid out on the table, fear gripped me. I struggled with all my strength, trying to break free. But it was useless. They held me down even harder as I turned to Xavier, my face full of desperation and pleading. "No, no. Xavier, I'm begging you, please don't. Lucas is your son, your own flesh and blood. You can't do this to him." But he acted as if he didn't hear me. Instead, he tied Lucas's legs securely with a rope. Only when Lucas was completely restrained did he finally speak. His voice was steady, as if he had already made up his mind. "Summer, I know how much you suffered to give birth to Lucas. But Wendy and I grew up together. I can't just stand by and watch while she's being held hostage. Trust me, after this is over, I'll make it up to you. I don't need your compensation. I just want my son to be safe and sound. Why can't you just let him go? This whole thing, this so-called kidnapping, it's all just Wendy's act. Are you really going to cut off your own son's legs because of a letter? You swore you would always protect him. Do you even remember that?" I argued desperately, hoping to awaken even a shred of fatherly love in him. But I failed as I watched as he dipped a cotton swab into iodine and applied it to Lucas's legs. The sight was like a dagger straight to my heart. The pain was suffocating that I grew up an orphan. So when I had Lucas, I did everything myself, making sure he grew up strong and healthy. But now, the child I cherished more than anything was about to have his legs cut off by his own father. And all because his father's childhood sweetheart was kidnapped. That it was beyond absurd. Xavier heard my pleas, but he continued his preparations. He picked up the cleaver and walked to the table. For the first time, he looked me in the eye. For the first time, his voice carried an ounce of regret. "Summer, I'm sorry. I know this might all be a misunderstanding, but I can't take that risk. If something happens to Wendy, I'll never forgive myself." I stared at him in disbelief, my heart sinking into despair. Then what about me? I risked my life to bring Lucas into this world. If something happens to him, how am I supposed to go on? Xavier, have you forgotten? You once said you would always protect me, that you would love me forever. Is this your way of loving me? His hand, raised in midair, hesitated. For a moment, hope flickered in my heart, and I opened my mouth to say more. Then his phone rang. The moment I heard Wendy Xander's personal ringtone, my hope shattered. Xavier glanced at me, then answered the call. "Xavier, help me. I'm scared, please save me." Her sobs came through the phone, delicate and pitiful. The concern in his eyes deepened, nearly tangible. But before he could speak, another deep and menacing voice cut in. "Mr. Smith, have you made your choice? If you take any longer, this beauty will be ours. Don't you dare touch her." Xavier's voice was a furious roar, but there was no response from the other end. The call disconnected. The beeping of the dead line filled the room. That I was even more devastated than he was. That I wanted to plead, but before I could, he was already moving. Without hesitation, he strode to the table and picked up the cleaver. His voice was ice cold. "I'm sorry, Summer. Wendy and I grew up together. I can't just let her suffer. Don't worry. I'll make sure Lucas gets the best prosthetic legs." I trembled all over, watching in horror. "No, Xavier, please don't do this.